to do differently when the Lynx are applying pressure at the point of attack, like on ball screens? Sandy mentioned from a team-wide perspective, how do you maybe handle that pressure a little better?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's understanding the role might not be open and understanding how you can attack out of it because usually two stayed on the ball for a little bit to be able to recover. And so, to be honest, I think it's one of those things where it'll be great. You can kind of go back, watch film, and understand ways that you can attack it and, continuing to find ways to get downhill and attack the rim, I think always, compromises defenses as well.
How much are the team turnovers over the last 5 games or so been self-inflicted versus what a defense is maybe doing to disrupt things?
I mean, I'd say most of them are the defense. Just understanding if something's not open, there's another action out of it. And I think a lot of the times is we try and get one another going, and so we sometimes kind of force the pass instead of just continuing to let it come to us. And so, especially in this game, they were baiting some of them, and I think that's something we just got to do better of understanding. It might be open for a second, but then it's not, and move off the ball and trust it'll come back.
Sabrina, how much was the fact that Fee wasn't playing today? How much did that really alter how you guarded this team?
I mean, completely different, in some ways, obviously, without her. But also, I think it's understanding, their bench killed us. They came in and really attacked and found ways to get downhill and put our bigs kind of at a disadvantage. And so I think this is one of those kind of learning experiences and ways that we can, continue to build. And obviously with Emma, our defense changes a little bit as well, just adding another 4 and a big player in there. And so it's continuing to kind of iron out ways and tendencies and what she likes on the defensive end and when she wants to switch and doesn't. So it's, kind of still figuring out, picking up, what her strengths are and how we can continue to leverage that on the defensive end as well.
Brandon, when it comes to newcomers in this rivalry you two have going, particularly Johannès, particularly Maria, how have they added to this to the challenge Minnesota presents?
Yeah, I mean, their bench is really good. That's something that we've known, and we don't take them lightly. They could be starters on any other teams in the league, and so they come in and they really know what their job is, and they come in and do it to the best of their ability. And tonight they all played really well, and obviously we have a really good bench as well. And so especially when Niara and KB comes back, we know how big of a lift they give us off the bench, and we got to continue to pour into our bench now. Izzy came in and gave us huge minutes. Marine came in and played really well and aggressive. And so continue to pour into our bench as well, and knowing that they've helped us so many times.
So what difficulties does Minnesota provide in terms of those post-entry passes?
Yeah, I mean, they usually play with undersized bigs. They don't have, really, really big bigs in there that play from behind. They usually try in front and almost steal the ball because they can't play from behind because they're usually, especially with JJ at the 5, it's just tough. And so they're really mobile. They get out there, they anticipate passes, they're super aggressive. And I think for us, it's understanding the ball fake and being able to move without the ball to get a lot of easier looks instead of just kind of telegraphing where we're going to pass it to. And I think we're going to be able to watch film and just understand it might have looked open, but it wasn't, and we just got to kind of grow from it.
Liberty's effort and toughness has been questioned on several occasions this season. I guess how frustrating is it that that's something that is controllable that keeps rearing its ugly head in some ways?
Yeah, I mean, every team is going to kind of go through it, and I think especially with the adversity that we faced this year, which has been a lot, I think it's one of those things where everyone's trying. It's not about not trying. And I think it's just understanding you have to do more. And that's the hard part is, what we've been doing at the beginning of the year when everyone was healthy and playing was good enough. And now it's not. It almost needs to be even more. And you might have to do things that you're not comfortable with. And that's one of those things where you kind of just have to be able to understand. And, for us, it should be an uncontrollable, coming out and playing as hard as you can and giving it out on the floor. And, no matter what the outcome is, that's something that you can control.
Sabrina, when you talk about just doing more, what's that line of trying not to have players press when they're trying to maybe do more versus just kind of playing more in the system and more naturally?
Yeah, I mean, that's the fine line, understanding your role and being able to read it in game, knowing what the team needs, how you're able to contribute, but not trying to do too much on your own shoulders and relying on, a team behind you to help you. And That's something that we got to continue to do while we have 3 of our players out, is step up for one another, be there, continuing to do all the little things that help win us games. And when they come back, hopefully that'll really be able to kind of get us back into a really good rhythm of what our roles are, what you need to do to help the team win, and hopefully hit the ground running there.
Sabrina, can you describe for us what you thought of the pace that you all were playing at, and what I guess is the most advantageous pace if the one you were playing at was not?
I mean, we play really fast. We know that. And I think it's trying to have a great balance of playing really fast, but also being able to slow the ball down and make the right reads and execute. And I don't think we did a great job of that. We played well when we played fast. Then we slowed the ball down and we didn't do as well. We didn't execute. We just kind of turned the ball over and gave them layups. And so I think for us, that's something that we're still trying to iron out, is making sure that we execute. And thankfully, a championship's not won or lost at this point in the season. And for us, it's almost using some of these games as practice in terms of being able to implement Emma in and the way she likes. Like, we still haven't had a practice with her. So these games have almost turned into like trying to build chemistry on the fly with a player that we use a lot in pick and pops and post ups and being able to be a facilitator and passer. And so, I think it's a fine line between slowing the ball down, but also continuing to play really fast.
Thanks, Deb.
Maureen, there's been Sabrina just talked to us about how, it was hard for Emma today just because they were pressuring her, and, she hasn't had a practice with this team. I'm curious if you could describe to us, when you sort of just jump right in, which you have many times, how hard is it to get adjusted when you do not have a single practice?
Yeah, I know how it is. But I think Emma is just a smart player. Like, it was not just her tonight, it was, everyone. We didn't really execute well, and we have to do a better job with that.
Playing the number 1 team is usually like a measuring stick for other teams. I guess, what did you learn about your guys' play today?
Like I said, we didn't really execute well. Our defense in transition was not good either. And I think the most important part is when it gets hard for us, tough for us, we don't really stay together. And I think we have to do a better job with everything I said.
Maureen, I think, there's been an evolution in your game even throughout the season. In a game like this, what did you feel confident in, and what are some things that you personally want to continue to work on?
I think it's this kind of game, you are really motivated. We know the history between both teams. And part of my game, I want to improve and stay consistent. It's in defense, I have to be better, being more physical. In offense, I have to stay confident and stay aggressive.
With the lack of practice, how can the Liberty take advantage of a longer compacted schedule?
We don't have a easy schedule, but we don't want to complain about this because everyone is tired. We are not going to talk about that. But of course, if we can practice, it will help us a little bit. Also for Emma, because like I said, it's hard to come in this team and act like all is good. I think the next few days will be tough to practice again because of the back-to-back, but maybe at the end of the road trip.
You said that this team sometimes struggles to stay together when things are starting to go wrong. What is a way that you've experienced that you can stop when a team is on a 13-0 run or something like that to get back into your principles?
It's a good question. But I think, like I said, just execute. I feel like we are missing player, and sometimes we are not in the right spot because when Stewie is there, we are in the different spot. So it's we have to adjust. And it's good.
Sorry.
So we have to adjust. I think just talking to each other, helping each other, is going to be huge for us in defense, but also in offense.
Stewie or Russell, to you first.
I might have the same question. What is it about Stewie that makes things go a little bit more seamlessly on both ends?
Well, Stewie is one of the best players in the world, so I guess it's hard when she's playing with us. But yeah, like her defensive side is like she's huge for us. She's always helping us. Like we know she's going to be behind us, and also in offense, of course. Like you all know Stewie.
Did Stewie have any thoughts for the group, throughout the game or in the locker room? Because throughout the game, I noticed she was sort of trying to coach, telling people to come up and certain things.
Well, again, just staying together. We can see that when things are going not in the right way, we are like maybe separate a little bit. So she told us that we can see our body language is not that great. So it wasn't great tonight. So staying together is going to be important for the next few games.
Did you notice trends between some of the turnovers? There were a lot of them. Were there any patterns?
Well, I think we had a good first half, but the second half was tough for us. They were really playing hard in defense. They were, of course, like playing hard defense on Sab, like most of the night. So we have to be better around her too, like to help her to get like a great shot, for example. Yeah.
What do you think, were some of the difficulties going up against Minnesota tonight for the team?
I felt like they were disrupting us way more than we did to them. And we just made it hard on ourselves, by just not being disciplined enough, maybe. Sticking to details, game plan, and being hard, physical.
I heard Sabrina talk about it, but what are some of the challenges that you face with Minnesota in terms of the entry passing, either passing or receiving those post entries?
Say again?
The post entry passing, what challenges does Minnesota show versus other teams?
I don't understand the question.
Like initial post pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we can't get it, or?
Yeah,
Yeah.
where they were very disruptive
Yes.
on those entry passes.
Yeah, but I felt like there were chances to do that, but we were just not always expecting it because it was not part of the play. But like you can run a play, but still like give attention to that detail. Like whenever you have a seal, like just seal and give it. I don't think any play will be run perfectly by those lines. But in one play that's maybe not meant for the post, like that's when you get the post. By just reading what they give us and like just if we go and run, we don't really act like we want it inside, like it's easy for them. But it's just us having to be more aggressive and like sealing properly and overseeing the court whenever the chance is there.
Why do you think this team kind of like downshifted in the second half and maybe wasn't executing as high of a level as you were in the first?
My last game, I don't even remember who we played, but the third quarter was a disaster.
Yeah.
So we were kind of mindful about that, and I think we started it off well. We just didn't finish it, the third quarter. Again, I think that's more on us than on Minnesota forcing us. It's just kind of relaxing, but in this league, in this game, nothing is gonna go by itself. We have to keep forcing it and demand from each other that we have to play hard and disciplined. And we're just giving bad passes, not being disciplined in that part. So yeah, we have some work to do.
Emma, when it comes to this team's issues, what do you think is the most fixable one that doesn't have to, for lack of a better term, rely on the return of injured players at this point?
Oh, everything, just the discipline. The attention to details, like I just said, passing, pass to the open side, or cut with purpose, play with purpose, stick to plays, pay attention in timeouts. I feel like it's just that, the details and discipline that we have to show. And other than that, like, no matter who you have on the court, no matter what level players or what league, it's all about hustle, like, I don't think you can practice that. So you just have to go out and fight. And we were just giving it, I felt like we were fighting hard for our scores, but then we just gave it away so easy to them. So.
Follow up on that hustle specifically. Minnesota was trying to push in transition a lot, even not off the turnovers, but even off of misses and knowing that you have more size than them, what adjustments can you guys make in terms of just getting back on that transition defense?
First of all, you have to run. Get back, and you're not always going to get matched up. So just take somebody. But I think we're going to see in film, like, sometimes it's good to see the really bad things on film and like be confronted with it. So I think that's what's going to happen. But again, like it's just an easy fix. It should be an easy fix.
Emma, there was a lot of talk about this team staying together and how there were some issues during this game about everyone sort of staying on the same page. I guess I'm just curious, you're new to this team. What is your role, or what do you want to bring to, I guess, togetherness and the team regrouping? What is your style when it comes to that?
Probably not necessarily in front of the whole group. Maybe face to face. Like when I see somebody is kind of down, I expect them to do the same thing for me too. Like more face to face and like get each other together. But like you said, I'm still new to this team, so I'm kind of like still looking from the side. Really, how is everybody reacting? Like, what does everybody need individually? So it kind of up and down sometimes. Like sometimes I feel lost, and like still, what kind of reaction is everybody giving? But I think I have a lot of experience in different cases, like losses, wins, championships, lost championships. So everybody's so experienced too, but just bring some European style experience, So I'm just trying to be a good teammate for everybody.
You guys have a cross-country flight, and then you play it back-to-back, basically. I mean, realistically, like, how do you bounce back from a game like this or regroup to be able to then play, a grueling 48 hours?
I mean, that's kind of the whole season, right? The pace of the games coming. You can't really like stick too much with the losses and like get your head down. You just want to go to the next one, learn from it, talk through it, have video, but hopefully like have some time on the court too to get even the individual rhythm back, like in shots and everything, confidence. But yeah, like it's gonna be my first long road trip, so I'm not looking forward to it. But travel in America is so long, but I'm sure that we'll get over it.
Putting this game aside, just in the games that you've had with the New York Liberty so far, how do you think that you've been able to impact pace and just kind of the cadence the team plays with? It seems like Sandy Brondello wanted that to be something that you were bringing to the team.
I've not seen too many games before I came, but what they've told me is like bringing some calm on the floor, because sometimes we overrun ourselves. I don't know how to say it, but like we go too fast and like we kind of forget to settle down a little bit, to just read the game, like you can hold the ball a little longer and then still like make people move and see what actually happened on the court. So I'm that kind of player, just bring some calm and not rush.
Oh, I'm so sorry. How would you describe, I guess, patterns that came to be amongst the turnovers? There were a lot of turnovers. What sort of caused them?
It was different kind. The ones that definitely could be avoided was just, again, attention to detail, like pass to the open side, or we were not always on the same page. One would think that you were curling, but you were not. I think that's still a part of like getting to know each other. But I think that's definitely that we should avoid that, it's fundamentals, really. So maybe it's not bad to just get back to the basics and, how you learned as a kid. Just through a reminder, pass to the open side.